living above an eccentric old man who ran what might kindly have been called a bed and breakfast. At the beginning of their relationship, Lewis's schedule was extremely tight. Frances's new job kept her very busy and very sleepy, and Lewis's landlord was pretty strict about late-night conversations, but they always managed to make time to see each other. When Lewis first told his friends about Frances, he said he knew that, in his words, he was on to something good. He immediately showed off pictures of her to his friends, which Simon here can verify. I remember when Frances first told her friends about Lewis, she spoke of his kindness and the comfort that she felt in his presence. With Lewis, there was none of the horror that we had all come to recognize as just part of dating in New York. She was at ease. When they met, Frances and Lewis had already developed a sense of self-knowledge and an understanding of what they looked for in their friends and in their partners. They are two separate people, and they have some separate interests. But as a couple, they explore each other's passions with enthusiasm while still maintaining their independence. At the beginning of their relationship, Frances introduced Lewis to the insane world of dog ownership in Brooklyn with the help of her dog Jojo, who had a habit of running off and stealing baked goods from children in Prospect Park, but in a cute way. Lewis introduced Frances to tent camping and also cooking, the latter of which he has continued to do the lion's share after an incident early on when Frances was left in the kitchen alone for 2 minutes, and immediately ended up with a face full of jalapeno juice and also olive oil. She had read that the olive oil would help with the stinging. Frances and Lewis are not overly dependent on one another, but instead, they refresh each other. Together, they love going on road trips, camping and hiking, binging on Netflix, spending time with their animals, and eating diner cheeseburgers. While their marriage marks the next stage in their life, it only helps to solidify the firm bond that they've already established. They have been together for nearly 4 years, lived together for almost 3, and they've raised 2 beautiful animals together, Joe the dog and Martha the cat. In their time together, they've had joys, and they've had challenges. The most recent challenge they faced together surrounded their next life step, where Lewis would go to medical school, what Frances would do for work, planning a move, leaving jobs, planning a wedding. These decisions are not easy, but with love, patience, and compromise, they have been able to support one another during this and every other trying time. Frances and Lewis are able to enter this marriage knowing that whatever comes their way, they will be able to handle it together with empathy, with honesty, and with love. And what is it that Frances and Lewis love so much about each other? Lewis loves Frances for her patience, her empathy, and her emotional maturity. He loves her intelligence, her creativity, and her resourcefulness. He admires her willingness to compromise and to work as equals, and her candor. He is endlessly entertained by her easy and often dark sense of humor. He loves her fierce idealism and her beauty. Frances loves Lewis for his kindness and his dedication to his own growth, as well as their growth as a couple. She admires his tenacity and his dedication. She loves him for his trust that everything will work out, and for his willingness to take risks to move forward together. She loves his cooking, and she loves his compassion. And so, with all that in mind, and with their friends and family here to witness, the couple will now exchange vows. Actually, could we get the rings? Do you, Lewis, take Frances as your committing and loving partner, to love and care for her with all her faults and all her strengths? Will you help her when she needs help, as you will turn to her when you need help? Do you choose her as the person with whom you will spend your life? Do you, Francis, take Louis as your committed and loving partner, to love and care for him with all his faults and all his strengths? Will you help him when he needs help, as you will turn to him when you need help? Do you choose him as the person with whom you will spend your life? All right. Then, with the power vested in me by the American Marriage Ministry and the state of Ohio, I now pronounce you married. You may kiss.